Hello and welcome to another video of www.sportsbash.in. After a beautiful discussion about the El Clasico of IPL, Mumbai Indians versus Chennai Super Kings, on the very same day, we welcome you all to another discussion where we look back at the last 10 IPL matches of the past week and we go through the top batting and bowling performances and also some more performances like the all-rounder of the week or the uh, leading from the front performance and many others. So stay tuned to this video, watch this video till the end to know about all the great performances. I'll first begin with the weekly top betting performances. Who is taking betting? I think Nishant is taking the top betting performances. And Nishant, in your opinion, which do you think was the any? Before we begin this, I must tell you that big kudos to Dwipen who has done good research and has come up with these categories and also done proper research to create this content. So thank you, Dwipen, for that. So Nishant, in your opinion, which do you think was the third best betting performance?
For me, number three was Quinton de Kock's 70 not out against Rajasthan Royals. We have seen that he's a kind of player who can play big innings for his team, but he was not in that form. But in the RR match, he regained his form and won the match for Rajasthan for Mumbai Indians, right? So I think his knock is at number three for me for this week.
Dwipen, top three, I mean, third best bowling performance of the week.
Yeah, I mean, it is Lalit Yadav getting 2 for 13 in TC's game against KKR. He's a part-time bowler, to be honest, and he was able to dismiss Morgan and Ryan in the same over in a game where Ravi Ashwin is now not part of the TC squad for some time now. And to be honest, Lalit Yadav was dropped in the previous game, but he was brought back again to fill in the time. Not exactly the 4-over boots of Ashwin, but yes, TC used him in a way to sort of cover for the overs that Ashwin might would have otherwise bowled for them. But yes, for him to come up and not only slip in economical overs but also get two of KKR's big batsmen was the third best bowling performance of the week.
That's awesome. I once again want to remind both of my panelists that I would request both of you to keep your answers very short, answer it in 1 minute. And with this, Nishant, second best betting performance.
It was Ruturaj Gaikwad's 75 not out against SRH because they were chasing around 170 runs and SRH has a quality bowling lineup. So I think that was a good knock and CSK chased it successfully. So he has a number two for me, Ruturaj Gaikwad.
Dwipen, second best bowling performance in your opinion?
Yeah, it was Akshay Patel getting 2 for 26 and against, of course, again SRH because they are the sides against whom all other sides are being able to put up a good performance. And I mean, Akshay Patel came up and he scored. He picked up a couple of wickets after his COVID comeback. So it's a lot to not only put up a disciplined bowling show, but also slip in with a couple of wickets. And yes, that's my second best bowling performance of the week. Yeah, you can continue, Nishant, with your top batting performance. I guess Manthan is having
Nishant,
an issue.
No.
The top betting performance of the last week, which do you think was that performance?
It's surprisingly Simran Hetmeyer. He's 53 not out against RCB. Though DC lost the match, but it's not easy for you when you are continuously in and out of the playing 11. And Simran Hetmeyer has very less chances to perform. We have seen him not getting enough chances in this playing 11. So he got that chance and he completely performed on that chance. So I think he deserved the number one spot in this week.
Dwipen, the top bowling performance of the last week.
So yeah, it has to be Prasidh Krishna bowling 3 for 30 in a track Ahmedabad where no IPL game has been played before, and KKR in that game were bowling first, so that makes it slightly difficult for the bowlers because they haven't seen the other side bowlers coming up and seeing what works, what does not work, and he ended up getting 3 scalps. One of them was Chris Jordan, who was striking it a bit in that game. If you guys remember, he scored 30 of 18 balls in an otherwise pretty toothless Punjab batting, but his effort of 3 for 30 helped KKR restrict Punjab to 123, a very small target, which was eventually overcome by Captain Morgan and the rest of the KKR side, and that is the top bowling performance of the week.
Couldn't agree. The Krishna that was, and now we move to the another set of performances, and this is one of my favorites. Number one, overseas player of the week. Nishant, who do you think? Which player do you think was the overseas star in the last week?
See, in all the discussions that we had in our channel, whenever there is SRH match, we always talked about Ken Williamson. That where is Ken Williamson? We all were waiting for him to come and play, and we just saw him delivering a brilliant knock against DC. Like that was a 60 plus score that he scored against a quality bowling lineup where you have Akshay Patel, where you have Rabada, where you have Avesh Khan, who is in good form, and he almost like won the match for DC, made it to the super over, but like that was a great fight back by Ken Williamson, so he is the overseas player of the week.
Yeah.
Again, in the middle of this, maybe because he was not allowed to play the super over, could that have an was that the reason why maybe David Warner was sacked from the captain, like a poor decision that day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, because 1K game is very small of a sample, but yeah, Williamson, the kind of quality player he is.
That might raise a question for a leader. Like he placed himself ahead of. Because everyone was shocked why Johnny Bairstow was not coming. Even Johnny Bairstow was shocked. If you have seen those pictures of Johnny Bairstow coming out after the match.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Really.
So great. So
ahead of the team. So who knows? That might be the reason.
Yeah. Moving on to the next event, which is the youngster of the week. And Dwaipan, your opinion, who was the youngster, the fresh face in the last week?
Yeah, we saw a certain Shiva Mavi coming out and bowl 6 balls in the same place, and Prithvi Shaw was able to put them to all parts of the ground. He went on to score 82 of just 41 balls in a game that DC went on to win. And I feel Prithvi Shaw always had that thing in him. I used to not particularly like him earlier because I did not feel he had that consistent gene to him. But now with that confidence combined with consistency, combined with that deadly ability to play those audacious shots, I mean, it was great for him to come out and play that knock of a strike rate of 200. I feel he missed out on a century that day, but it's absolutely dominating by him, and especially seeing him being so young now. He's only 21 now. It's great. Absolutely.
I think like Virendra Sehwag found out Saurav Ganguly, like, who gives him freedom. Even if he gets out on 0 in consistently 4-5 matches, he gives him freedom that you will not be replaced. So if Prithvi Shaw finds some captain, one of the captains, like even in the Indian team, if Captain Virat Kohli or the future captain keeps a trust on him, I think he will be a brilliant player. He is actually a mixture of Sachin Tendulkar and Virendra Sehwag. We have seen his batting styles and the freedom, or like the fearless batting. So let's see.
After a very long time, that innings from Prithvi Shaw, amazing. And now the leading from the front performance, Nishant and Dwaipan, both of you can say, but Nishant, who do you think who played captain's innings in the last week?
It was obviously KL Rahul's 91 not out against RCB. Even though he has a great repo against RCB like in the previous season as well, but yeah, this was a knock that Punjab were really looking forward, because they were losing the games and captain needed to lead from the front, and KL Rahul does exactly the same thing, and they can win the match. So KL Rahul was captain leading from the front for this week.
But I feel more than it was more than the runs that he scored. It was about the strike rate in which he was able to score. If you remember, I said in that preview of that game that I want KL Rahul to bat freely, to bat with freedom, to bat with utmost, not a baggage in his mind that I don't know what will happen if I get out. Puran has got so many zeros now. We have got that joke many times on our show, but KL Rahul will serve Punjab best when he's batting with a certain amount of clarity in his mind that he must go out there. And in one of the games, he had a strike rate of under 100 in the power play, which clearly shows us that he's waiting to play the long game, playing the waiting game as to I'll only cash in at the end, and that way he won't be able to win his side games. But this knock where against RCB, I mean, Manthan just said in the previous live about how there is something players performing against their ex teams, and yes, it's a beautiful love story in the IPL, and yes, this was one of the greatest knocks of this year's IPL.
And when we are talking about captaincy, how can we forget that master stroke of bringing in Harpreet Brar in place of Ashleep Singh? It was a master stroke by captain. So
yes,
it
absolutely.
was again an example of captain leading, and a good example set by him.
That's the distinctive feature of SportsBash discussions, where we often talk about X, we talk about X's performances, and this makes our discussion, very different from other discussions online. Now, the next thing would be the all-round performance of the week. And before Dwipen or Nishant would say, I think this is one thing where none of us three will disagree to each other. But yet, I'll request, I think Dwipen has an internet connection, so Nishant, can you take it? All-round performance of the week.
So it is obviously Ravindra Jadeja from CSK, that a one-man show against RCB. That was, even I'm an RCB fan, but Jadeja single-handedly won the match for CSK. No other player was required. The 37 runs in last over against Akshay Patel.
37 runs off over.
Yeah,
amazing. Exactly.
Yeah,
brilliant.
What all things he was able to do.
There is also a record in terms of.
Yeah,
I think this.
You can continue. Okay, I'll go ahead. What I wanted to say is that in a game where as a bowler, you get 3 wickets, you have done well for your side. In a game, if as a batsman you have been able to score 60 of 28 balls, you have done well. In a game as a fielder, if you have been able to give a direct hit, you have done well as a fielder. Ravindra Jadeja did all those 3 games in the same game, and it's an almost complete performance. I don't think I remember I had him as my vice captain in one of the fantasy games, and I won by such an handsome margin. And people, jokes apart, it was a great performance all round.
SportsBash suggested him as a captain. In that game, SportsBash suggested him as a captain.
Yeah,
he was my captain in the fantasy league.
Oh yeah, I mean, great. I don't think we'll see such performances very often on the cricket.
Rightly said by MS only, Sir Ravindra Jadeja.
And it was all so
absolutely.
Yeah, sir, for a reason. And the knocks like these give you a lot of content to scroll on Instagram as well. Like you have memes and you have celebratory posts about such players even after the match. So that's a wonderful match, like always. And I think it was also one of the records where the users got maximum Dream 11 points because of the super all-round performance of
218 points. 218 points.
218. That's crazy. That's crazy, right?
It's a crazy number in a Dream 11 team if you are playing it.
True. So that was the top batting, bowling, and other performances of SportsBash. Again, thank you, Dwipen, for compiling all of these facts together. And thank you, audiences, for showing your love. Yeah, thank you for showering us with love. When we started the YouTube live, we were just 918 subscribers, and today we are 1,022 subscribers. So that's quite a journey, and we are just midway. So thank you so much for being with SportsBash. Keep loving. Please keep commenting. Sharing this video with your friends. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.